Hey, Marie. Hi, Bree. Nice to not really see you, but anyway. Those
Hi,
squat
Jeri.
killers, Jeri.
Hi, Marie.
Hi. What's going on? How's
Hanging
quarantine?
out. Surviving.
I call it, we're grounded for a little bit. No more
Yeah, right.
quarantine. I'm so sick of it.
Yeah, I'm this week has been, I'm over it. Like I'm done.
Yeah.
I was okay until this point. Now I'm just done.
Yeah, we've been we're okay. We're just like, we're opened up our business. We get to open it up on Wednesday.
That's good.
Yeah, it's been a rough hopefully we'll come out of this.
Yeah, right.
I'm gonna go get some water, and then we'll go through a few things with this, with what I have it planned. If you have a belt, a resistant band, a rope belt works good, a pant belt works really good. A nice wall, a little bit of a wall, so we could do some scapular movements there. And then of course, a foam roller, a good mat. I got my kitchen mat, which I love, my fatigue mat.
You're on a real decline.
Look what I got.
That bench doesn't go on a decline?
Hello, Michelle. Doug? I tried to connect to a lot of my guy friends too to get them to do some of everybody's workout. I try to tag them. This is probably my last workout for the week. So, but these stretches that I have been incorporating, because I found that I've been doing a little bit more sitting than anything. And I don't know if you guys feel the same way with that. You just find like you're more at your computer or
Yeah.
what? I don't know. Maybe it's me. But normally
I agree. I agree with you.
I don't even sit. I don't even watch TV at night, and we have been binge watching. So my whole body has been, I want to say from my lumbar all the way down into my glutes, which I just did a test on myself, and literally, I thought I had really strong glutes, and I have very weak glutes. So,
I've noticed like my mid-back, across my mid-back, like my rhomboids and my lats are really bad, and I never usually have problems in that area.
okay,
So I don't
so
like sitting hunched over, like sitting in a chair hunched all afternoon or whatever.
yeah, exactly. And the more I've been reading, I did a couple CECs on this, and it's been something that we need for the rest of our life. We need to keep moving, but when we're doing things, we need to do it in proper form. They noticed that, I don't know if you guys ever heard of, and I'm gonna say this funny, my husband always makes fun of me, Wolf's Law, WOLFS, and Davis Law talks about how when your body is in a certain position, or let's say you break a leg, if you break a leg, obviously one leg is going to be weaker than the other. So one's going to compensate. So I'll use my hamstring. I tore my hamstring, and my right leg is weaker than my left leg. So I have dominance here. So what's happening on this side in Wolf's Law is that you atrophy. You lose everything and it goes smaller until you get it strengthened. So the stresses that we put on our lives change our muscles and our bones. And another one they've been finding out, in the back of your skull, the base of your skull, kids are getting like they call it like not a horn, but it is like a horn that's comes out of their base. It's just a little bump, and that's from them leaning over like this. So it's
Yeah.
putting stress on their skull.
Uh-huh.
So, and that's Wolf's Law too. And then like the Davis Law talks about our muscles. And like one of our muscles that we do not have is the IT band. You're not born with an IT band. That develops over time with the glute muscles and tensor fascia lata. And what's our adductor. So it's all in our pelvis. And over time, the friction of all those muscles makes an IT band. So a little knowledge that you might not need to know, but it is good to know, trivia on this. But we are going to get started with the foam roller. And I do have notes because of the fact that I want to start from the ankle down. So I'm hoping. So if you got a good mat, get down on your mat. And what you're going to do is half kneeling. And you're going to place the roller underneath your calcaneus, which is your heel bone, and your talus, which is in between your medial and your lateral. And you can feel it right in the middle. And you're going to take your roller and place your foot on it just like that. So you're in that half kneeling position. Good core. Relax the upper body and put some pressure on your heel. My foamer is a bit worn. So, and you can take your heel side to side. And once you find that point where it kind of hurts, just hold it right there. What I need to do. And take it back up, take your toe back up, so it's pointing away, and take it down. And let's do that 20 times. So you're activating the calf muscle. If you do a lot of squatting, this is another FYI, you could feel, and if you feel any kind of tightness or a pinch in your ankle, that's this little muscle. Normally your stretches are held for like 30 seconds. This one we're going to move through. Do 10 or 12 or even 15, and then change sides. So half kneeling. You might feel it more on one side than the other. Oh, shoot. Little pressure on the calcaneus, which is your heel. This side actually feels better for me. All right, next we're going to move on to the calf, the Achilles tendon. And we're going to be in a seated position, which is always comfortable. Achilles tendon runs up from the calcaneus all the way up into the calf muscle. So you're going to place your roller underneath your calf on one leg. You can cross over or you can elevate depending on the pressure that you want. And you're just going to roll nice little movements. And wherever you feel that little pinch, just hold right there. And then little movements, rolling, rolling. You find another little pinch, hold. And if you need a little bit more pressure, feel free to cross over at the ankle. Now you can elevate like I was elevating to get it deeper. I always need, yeah. And that's where I feel that little pinch in there. 10 minutes of foam rolling will restore your muscles and alleviate the DOMS tremendously. 10 minutes a day, if you can help, it will reduce. Once you find that little muscle, that Achilles, oscillate it up and down, roll it. I like this one. This is something I don't do a lot. Change legs whenever you're ready. Toes are dorsiflex, so your toes are pointing up to the ceiling, not away. Up, cross, and roll. Find that muscle where it pinches just a little bit. Roll it up a little bit more. Now, if you like, lift that booty up, a little bit more pressure, and you might find it a little bit deeper there. It's like a good ow feeling. Again, if it's too much pressure, take that top leg off. You can always leave it on the floor. And one side is always worse than the other side. And relax. Let's go back to that left leg and take it to the outside, the lateral. And same thing. You can cross it over in front, have it here, or you're like in back, and you're just gonna roll up and down the side. One thing hard about stretching is finding the time. So I'm just gonna touch on a few of these muscles, basically that have been bothering me for the past, 13 weeks? I don't know, it seems like forever. Take it a little bit deeper. And change. Outer leg. And just roll it up and down. Find that point where it pinches like a little bit. Pinch and press. And it's funny how one leg feels good on one side, and then the other one's like, this is nothing. All right. How does that feel? Good? You guys, some of you might already be doing these moves. They have been around for a long time. Next, we're going to hit the bicep femoris, and that's all a part of our kinetic chain here on our legs. So I'm focusing more on the outer bicep femoris. This is the muscle that I pulled. It's your big tendon that runs from kneecap to the hip. It inserts into the hip. A lot of pain. People think it's always in their lumbar. A lot of times it could be tight biceps, tight hamstrings, and they think it's their glutes or their lumbar. So what we're going to do is work on the outer hamstring. We're going to sit and just, pressure is going to be here, and there's two ways to do this. So you can isometrically roll with one leg, or you can actively take both legs up and cross. And again, you're gonna feel like a little pinch or a knot. And once you find that little knot, try to roll over it. And we're gonna maintain this for like a good 30 seconds. And again, one leg, you might feel it more than the other. Take that roller down a little bit further, and if it's painful, take that top leg off. I know I just hit a spot on my leg, and it's like, wow, I didn't realize how tight it was. Okay, and relax. Whenever you're ready, don't let me rush you. We're gonna change legs because I know I don't have much time. I'm already 8 minutes in and rolling feels so good. So roll up and down that hamstring, the outer. We're working on the bicep femoris. When our hamstrings are really tight, it pulls into our lumbar. One of my test questions for getting certified for ACE was about how overactive our hamstrings become, and it causes that arch in our lumbar. So we get that like a little, I don't know, booty up look. We do not want that. Find your tender spot. And again, if that leg up is too much, you can always bring it down. Find that spot. You pin it and stretch it. See, both of these feel really good to me, and I don't do enough of these. Another move that you can use on this, and I see like, and I don't do it enough, is get a ball, a tennis ball, and you can really dial in on the bicep femoris. So you get that ball. Let me see if my dog has one in her bin. Nope. But anyway, you guys get the gist of that. You get the little ball and you can dial in on that muscle. Really good. A really good move here is we're gonna, if you got a chair handy, you can do this on the floor. We're gonna get into the adductor. The adductor is in the medial part of the leg, and it's a little awkward to do here because you're putting that pressure on the leg and you're rolling. So I found by getting this might be a little high for me, and it's gonna look kind of weird, but you roll it. And I'm telling you, this is probably my new move, even though it looks weird, so don't judge me. No photos. But you can definitely feel your adductor. And you might get to the point where once you pin it, find the pressure point where it's tight. It might feel like it's so tight it's gonna snap, I heard people say, but just hold it and don't move and relax. You need to relax during this because our adductors, our bicep femoris, our quads, and our glutes control our back. And everybody thinks they got back problems where it's the tightness in all these muscles down here from standing or I call it sitting way too much. Some get overactive and some are underactive. And I've been finding out that my glutes are underactive because I have been sitting on them. So this one, any chair will work with this. And then let's change legs. You could tell I really enjoyed that. I hung out way too long on that one. And then you gotta find it. Once you find it, it inserts into the pelvis. So where your pelvis is, you can feel your bones. It comes up in there. So angle, pin it, and I just found it and stretch it. So if you guys want your volume on, if you're focusing on these stretches, you could talk to me. If not, no big deal. So are we okay? We doing okay? I hope so. Okay. I could stay on that one forever. That's the adductor. So we do a lot of walking, running, if you're running. That really helps it. Flexion, extension. All right, I was talking a little bit about our TFL, which is our abductor muscle. TFL runs down, and I know it connects into the pelvis area too, and that's our hip flexion. We, as instructors and as everybody, we do a lot of hip flexion. So bending at the waist, picking something up, to bringing the knees up. And again, we're sitting. So we're isometrically holding that muscle. And seriously, I've been having some serious issues with this one. And it really tenses up the thighs to where you can feel it go down your leg. And I'm like, what the heck is going on? And I always called it my IT band. My IT band's fired up. And the more I kept reading about it, is we're not even born with an IT band. The IT band develops over time because all those other muscles start building, because with stress, we build muscles. So these muscles build up and they attach and they form this IT band, the iliotibial band. So that's Davis's law, which is really cool to know. So that's a piece of information you might want to know or might not want to know. So over time, when we're working these, that muscle, it gets really tight. So to stretch the IT band, we are gonna get back on a roller, and you're gonna go into that half kneeling position. And the leg can stay back. So we're stretching out the tensor fascia lata. I always want to call it a latte, but it's not. So again, serious weight pressure on here. You cannot stretch your IT band, but you can stretch this TFL. So depending on your pin and stretch to where you pinpoint the muscle and then hold the stretch, roll it down your leg, and you can even come down on your elbow. And again, try to not so much dorsiflex, but try to keep the toe up. Don't point the toe down, because now you're getting into the quad, okay? So keep it parallel, your foot parallel to the floor. And just roll it to where you feel it. And then let's hold it. My heart rate's going up on this one because I can feel this. So again, you're not born with this IT band. Soft muscle builds over time. It's based on stress of the muscles. And my leg is quivering on this one. And roll it down a little bit further. And then let's change sides. So this is, you're going to have to figure out which muscles are overactive. Roll it to where you feel that pin, and then hold. I hope this feels, I don't know, it should feel good. Mine's a little painful. I have to be honest. This is painfully good. How's that for adjectives? I need a timer. But then they say don't necessarily time this, just work it and relax. You need to relax so you can't tense up. And you can see I'm moving slowly down my leg, my outer leg. I just found another area. I do need a massage, I think. But this is cheaper than a massage, and you're doing it yourself. So find that other spot. You can tell certain areas you're gonna need it longer than other areas, obviously. So with that being said, I'm gonna come off of that. Okay, we did it. Landmark, Davis sign. All right, let's get into the quads, the rectus femoris. So basically I'm touching our legs. So this is literally, you're gonna be laying down and you can do one at a time. So your quadricep, the front of your leg, is what we're gonna be rolling. And you're gonna raise one foot up and just a slow movement up and down. Try to find where it, pin it, and stretch it. Or pinpoint it. I don't know if I'm moving too fast or too slow, or if this is all about me and not you. I apologize. I didn't realize how bad a shape my body's in. I shouldn't be laughing. Oh my gosh. So, again, I could probably stay here for a couple more minutes, but we'll take a breather on that one. And then we're gonna change legs. I'm gonna grab my notes and see what I'm forgetting. So I'm pinpointing the right leg now. My left leg's not even on because I don't want it to interfere with my right leg. This is my right leg's time. I'm lifting my leg up into a 90. And if that's too much, you can keep it fully extended, or you could take it up and down. I'm glad I looked at my notes on this one, because I totally get into this, and yet I lose all my instructions for other people. You find a spot and you want to just hold, definitely hold on to it. All right. How are we feeling? Did we wake them up? We feeling good? All right, foam rolling, and I do have more, but I wanted to touch on a couple of my favorites that I have been doing. If you have any lumbar, that arching in your back, if you have any pain that, I don't know, I feel it in my knees all the time. And again, that's the TFL that pulls up. And I always think it's that, but it is. It's pulling up and it's grabbing into my hip flexors. So one of my favorite moves here, I'm trying to figure out how I can show it to you, is you're laying down on one side, side, like our side plank, and you're gonna come all the way down. And you can rest your head on your elbow on this one. And you're gonna elevate, the bottom leg is gonna be bent, so like a 90. Top leg is elevated. And what I want you to do, I don't want you to lift high, I just want you to lift hip height, right? Touch the knee in front and get a nice stretch here through the gluteus. And then I want you to straighten it back out behind you. So it's kind of hard to see, but it is behind my foot, back. I want your toe to go pointed down. Now I want you to lift it as high as you can. You might want to take your head down, and you should feel this in your lumbar. So toe is pointed down. You feel any discomfort, and you should be able to go like your leg just starts shaking. And I have been doing this stretch, and oh my gosh, my hip flexors feel good, my lumbar. So you want to release it, come back down. Drop that knee back down in front of you. Relax for a minute. And I always engage my core whenever I am working out. I try to, even though if you look at my abs, you're like, you do not engage your core. But I do. So let's take it straight out, parallel to the floor. Drive it back as far as you can. Point the toe down. Lift up through the heel and raise. And 2 weeks ago, I couldn't even hold this for like 5 seconds. And hold this as long as you can. And your leg's gonna start quivering, or you might get tightness, or you might get to the point where you feel like you got a leg cramp. And once you start feeling that, drive that knee back down and release. And we're gonna do that one more time. And I love sharing things that work for me, because I know you guys share things that work for you, and that makes your body feel good. Because as we age, I'm like an old timer, my kids call me, but drive that leg back, it's parallel to the floor, point the toe down, try not to roll back, stay in a good neutral alignment from your hand to your head to your pelvis, toe down, drive that heel up a little bit higher now. How much time do we got? Okay, we got time enough to hold this one, and then we're gonna have to flip. And as soon as you can't take it anymore, drive that knee down and stretch it out. We're gonna flip over and do the other side. One side's always easier than the other. So you're in a good, never know how to set up my mat. I don't know if you're gonna love my stretches or not, but, okay, bent leg down, knee in front, just like if you were watching TV or laying on the floor. I don't know if you lay on the floor anymore. You're gonna take that leg parallel to the floor, toes are pointed, dorsiflex. Lift, take it back, drive the toe down, and lift it up a little bit higher. And you should feel this through your glute, your hamstring, your bicep femoris, your TFL, your abductor. We got a lot of muscles going on. But more importantly, you should feel that in your hip, all the way up, where all those muscles, they all connect. And drive it down and relax. We're gonna do that 2 more times. So elevate, back, toe down, and lift. Drive with that heel. Drive, drive, drive. So that muscle's engaged. You should feel the tightness in it. Usually you hold 10 seconds, 20 seconds, maybe 30 seconds. I always hold it until that muscle starts to relax, hopefully. Or until right now, I can't take it anymore. I gotta drive it down and relax. I'm gonna do that one more time, and then I wanna show you a couple wall movements. So straight leg, behind, lift, toe down. Make sure that toe is angled down. You might get a little cramp in the arch of your foot. If you do, release that and reposition and start up again. And I don't know about you, but one side is always tighter than the other. And I'm really feeling this on my right side. So I'm gonna release. I'm gonna roll over and come on up. Oh, here's another lumbar stretch, but I wanna come up by the wall. If you guys are still with me on my wall, I hope you could see this. This is another one for sitting too long. So I don't know if I should show you my back side or my front side. So what I'm doing is my arm is coming parallel to my shoulder and my hip is up against my wall. And I'm getting ready for a painting job, but that's not gonna happen right now. So what I'm doing is I'm raising my interior leg that's by the wall up, and I'm driving my outside hip to press that hip into the wall and driving it in. And you should feel this in that TFL. Relax the foot. See, my foot is shaking. I don't know if you can see it on camera. And relax. And you can do that a couple more times. Am I losing? Am I done? You have been signed out. Okay. Well, I run it out of time. I'm sorry. But I still have like 30 seconds. But that wall one for your lumbar, do that on your left side as well as your right side. And I'm curious about your comments. I enjoy doing everybody else's classes. Kudos for us doing Zoom. And I appreciate feedback. Love you guys. But they did sign me out. So I don't even know if you guys can hear me. So
I can hear you.
okay, thank you.
Bye, Jeri. Thank you.
Thank
Bye,
you.
Jeri. Thank you.
Thank you, Joyelle. Thank you, Jeri.
Wow. Wow.